is it about this franchise, about Stephen Fleming, about MS Dhoni? Just like you see, so calm and so clear in what they want to do.
Hi, everyone.
I mean, I could have been dropped a couple of games ago, but as a player, you want to give it back to the team as much as you can.
Amazing scenes. I mean, we'll all be watching it. It's finished a bit later than expected, but there's no doubt that Chennai Super Kings deserve to be where they were at. I think I did talk about this earlier on. Hi guys, it's Norman Koshnak here from Eyes on Cricket. I'm not sure how many of you actually will stick around for this. I still will have it. It's great to see all these players celebrating post-tournament. CSK have won their fourth title, I'm pretty sure. You've got Josh Hazlewood there. He's very, very much happy there, celebrating. The way this match went, it's a bit hard to comprehend how consummate the win was. When I say that, I think I did predict that CSK would win. I scored 192. Kolkata scored 165. In fact, I think 165 is what Chennai Super Kings would score, and Kolkata would make 162. Well, I wasn't far off. Yeah, I said, going with Punjara, I actually did say 165 would be the total that Chennai would get, and that Kolkata would get 162. But I was a bit off, but Chennai Super Kings excelled that by getting 192, made it extremely hard for anyone to get near that total. The reality is this is quite an incredible victory. Well, the fact is that Gaikwad, when he got the orange cap, and in fact, of course, we also saw the likes of Faf du Plessis very, very close. Shardul Thakur took 3 wickets. Fantastic. It certainly was a very impressive. So if you look at the way this match was turned out, Gaikwad's 32 led him to the orange cap. Faf du Plessis was quite incredible. 86, 7-4, 3 sixes of 59 deliveries. Otapa looked fantastic. And Moeen Ali quite shocked me as well. So they were 3 for 192. And on that basis, you only had Marvi with 1 wicket and on the right, who bowled well for 2 wickets. Then you have a Kolkata batting side that again started brilliantly with 2 very competent batters, as in Shubman Gill and Venkatesh both getting 50s. But then after that, they basically fell away quite severely until Ferguson and Marvi got together. They got some runs, but really, Alan Morgan failed yet again. What they missed, and I should say, I was saying a duck. Yeah, look, the catch. The fact is that realistically, the score was on the cards all the way through. You look, Shubman Gill and Venkatesh both batted very well. Their stand, what was their stand? Their stand was 91. After turnovers, they were well in it at that point. When a steady flow of wickets occurred, Chahar got the 1, Hazlewood 2, Sharp got 3, Bravo 1, and Jadeja 2. Well, they went from 1 for 91 to 6, in fact, 7 for 123, in fact, 8 for 125. So they lost, 30, they lost 7 for 34. And then an admirable partnership there at a very late stage brought them to 164 and then on to 165. So realistically, the game was over from the 10th over to in the matter of 6 overs, they lost some 7 wickets for 34. Never in the hunt. 1 for 91 to 8 for 125. That's pretty damn ordinary. And also a game changer when a Venezuela 2 outstanding catches and 2 wickets. Jadeja's a man. Dwayne Bravo knows what he's doing. Incredibly in control. But it was quite. I think I did talk earlier on about the fact that the combination of the cool head of Dhoni was certainly a very good reason for this victory. There was never any doubt, really, was there? There was never any doubt at all. It was quite a. I shouldn't say there was never any doubt, but at 1 for 91, there was a lot of doubt. But those two, as in Venkatesh Iyer and obviously Gill, did their best. They both batted well above. Well, Iyer in particular looked good. Gill was a bit more circumspect, but then it didn't really deteriorate. Tucker took a few quick wickets there. Rayner, a duck, first ball. Narayan came second drop and got 2 off 2. Morgan fouled or torn, really, in terms of batting. Dinesh Carter got 9 off 7. Shobhan, I was saying, a very, very poor middle order. Andre Russell would have been a nice person. So Tripathi did come in the end, even though he had his injury of his hamstring, only facing 3 balls anyway. Lockie Ferguson, admirable at 18 off 11. Marvy 20 off 13. They tried, but it was way, way too late then. And Chakravarti only didn't face the ball. So very, very comprehensive. It was quite against the grain. Faf was man of the match for sure. But his batting partner Gaikwad certainly batted well. In fact, they have to say a magnificent performance. Very, very unorthodox batting style. Manu Jean's there, of course. It was quite a superb effort, and also game changer. Yeah, so there's quite a bit to take in there. But when you got players like Jadeja, Bravo, and Cool, MS Dhoni there as your captain, you really can't going to go wrong. Morgan, admirable, and he's positioned to get through from 4th into the final. Very admirable. Gave himself his team every chance, but immediately, despite the fact that Chennai had lost the toss, more so that KKR won the toss and elected the bowl, really should have given them a better position to be in. But look, Chennai knew what they had to do. They needed to score big, and they had to get well over. I predict 165 was the total that Chennai would get, but in fact, it was the total that KKR got. And here we are. Dhoni's signing away on the camera at the moment. I can see his 4th championship. So that's a pretty impressive situation. Yes, the Chennai Super Kings 3 for 192 after their 20 overs. A magnificent 86 by Du Plessis. Moeen Ali quite shocked me. 37. Didn't expect him to get that many runs so quickly. Gaikwad's 32. Again, orange cap. Although Du Plessis was only 3 or 4 runs from getting that himself. So the top 2 openers have gone first and second in the orange cap. That's pretty indicative of the victory. But admirable in defeat with good Gill and Venkatesh Iyer, but their best of batting was awful. You can't. Thakur is certainly played his way into an actual Indian team for the World Cup, no doubt. Josh Hazlewood's been pretty impressive too. So here we are. We're looking at the titles now. Mumbai Indians have won 5. Chennai Super Kings have won. Look, I'm just going to try and get a copy of this. Let's get a look at this, guys. You can just see it there. I'll just make sure that's it. Mumbai Indians. I'll just might use this. Oh, no, it's too late now. That's right. I was going to make a photocopy of it. Hang on a sec, guys. Yeah, so that's by far. I was going through some highlights there of the opening batters. Gill looked magnificent. So look, Venkatesh Iyer did his level best with his 50. He booked some beautiful shots. both getting 50s, but then the wicket started to fall in. The ball's gone way into the air. So that's Gill, and he's been taken. There was the first wicket to fall. Very, very high balloon catch. It was called a no ball, so all fair enough. Then you have Venkatesh Iyer hitting it way into the air yet again, massively into the air. And he was this time caught by, of course, Jadeja. The wicket started to fall on a regular basis. Another good catch. Gill got his 50, and then he was bowled. And LBW, in fact. Then the wicket started to fall quite regularly. Dinesh Karthik hit two, and then straight on the throw back. And then another wicket. Jadeja very happily took the wicket. And then another catch deep in the boundary there. Ali catch, and Hazlewood getting hit straight to backward square. One-handed catch for the greatest of ease. And that's Lockie Ferguson, Marley hit away, but it was all too late. Some massive blows there. Out caught. And Dhoni dropped a catch early on, but I think it was off Venkatesh Iyer, but it didn't matter in the end. They won, and won very convincingly. So the man of the series would probably have to go to a Gaikwad, I would say. Not far over to Plessis. Dhoni, one of the best captains ever. I mean, won 4 titles now. I think one behind Mumbai. KKR have also won titles, but the Delhi Capitals, unfortunately, no title. RCB, no title. That's very frustrating for those things. Manu John's been very excited about that. Hello again, Norman Hart. Troll for okay. How was I wrong? Lord Charvel played well. Why would I? Okay. Man of the series. Well, I think I've just mentioned, you'd have to go with Gaikwad based on the sheer batting performance over the consistency over the whole tournament. From a KKR perspective, again, their openers, Venkatesh Iyer, Gill, Venkatesh Iyer was right up there. But yeah, I think Gaikwad would have to be the man of the series. I would give it to him. You could not give it to him. Very, very impressive indeed. Rather sad for Delhi Capitals and RCB, to be honest with you. I think they deserve to be in the final, especially Delhi Capitals. But CSK cruised for most of the series. They lost 3 matches towards the end of the 56 matches. They lost the last 3 matches they played and looked down and out, but they just came in and just knocked Delhi Capitals over quite easily. And here they were in complete control. Defied the odds by batting first, not bowling first. They didn't win the toss, of course. They probably would have bowled first if they won the toss, but they didn't win the toss. They knew what they had to do. They scored as big as they possibly could. They got 192. They did extremely well, and they just let KK on a difficult path. If only Faf scored as many as Gaikwad, we could have had 2 orange caps. Well, he was only a few runs away. He was only 3 or 4 runs away, and incredibly so, 86 in the final. You can't knock that. It was belligerent batting by Faf. So the reality is, it was belligerent batting by Faf. He's not playing for the South African side in the World Cup. Is it too late for South Africa to quickly do a switcheroo and put Faf to Plessis in the team? Maybe they should put Faf to Plessis in the team. It's quite frustrating to see the situation where South Africa are going to be without him. Even Imran Tahir's another one that they're not going to have. They lack those 2 players in their squad. De Kock, up and down form this season. Obviously, Bhuvi was Bavuma. He's inspirational, but not good enough. I'm just wanted in RTB. I wanted them to the bottom of the table. Well, they were certainly on the bottom, but they were certainly close to the top. Manuel dropped something troll face, even though he's going to strike rate. Didn't consider that now. Yeah, 15th of October is the last date. Yeah, they can't change the squad now. I get that. I get that. But I'm sure South Africa would have liked to have had du Plessis. The man who's got 86 of 59 balls in a final of the IPL within days of the World Cup is not in the squad. That's just asinine. South Africa, you can't be stupid. Now, all right. Let's just take a bit more of a step on this game again. Let's have a look at the result. Let's look at the result again. An amazing scoreline when you think about it. 6-1-92 was quite impressive indeed. I'm just having to deal with this whole scoreline. Look, Chennai Super Kings won. Chennai really there's a wording here. They're the most consistent team throughout the whole IPL breadth. Let's look at the situation. Played for 12 seasons, 11 playoffs, 9 finals, 4 IPL titles, 2 CLT titles, CL T20 titles, and 1 with 1 captain. That says a lot. That certainly is a brilliant effort, you have to admit. That's right up there with one of the best efforts. It's certainly worthy of attention. MS Dhoni, you're a champion. Out and out champion. Should never have been doubted. Is he to play on? Well, Josh means confidence. Josh Hazlewood, yeah. Josh Hazlewood and the 2 players that are going to be, of some importance to me in this whole World Cup fiasco. And why I'm saying it's that because, of course, Australia are going to get thrashed. But, so very impressive situation. Dhoni will maximum retire. KK Middlewall was always their Achilles heel, got exposed today, only to be struck by the Lord himself. Yeah, it was, I know it was necessarily Lord Tuckor's effort, but I would argue it was never in doubt. That KK, never in doubt. Chennai Super Kings really had this match during the whole. They knew what they had to do. When they lost the toss, there was certainly some fears. Okay, there were certainly some fears, but MS Dhoni is your captain. You can't go on. So he's going to be monumentally important for this World Cup in terms of his mental role. He can really draw upon this victory only days early, where he can really, motivate his country. And you got to remember that it is really, Guy quoted, and the way that those 2 guys played, it's very, very impressive indeed. He certainly has impressed me. I must say, there's a lot to be liked about there, a lot to be liked about. I'm just going to see what else. Trophy. They got the CSK, a fan official, and they're looking at the trophy. Is this a precursor to the World Cup final? Is it going to be an India-England final? And is India going to win? Won't be Dhoni there, but it'll certainly. Presentation is getting delayed. Some teams could not use their bench like Jamison and a few more Rowett's own form. Yeah, there's certainly some deep reflections that need to be taken into account. And realistically, you can't knock the performance of CSK. They were under the radar the whole time through. It's true. The fact is they did do some great things. None for 91, 8 for 125. there's some really impressive aspects of the way that they played. There's no doubt. No doubt. There's some worthwhile takeaways from this match. But MS Dhoni, I mean, he didn't score us. But see, Owen Morgan was exposed. His abilities not to he had the potential there to do something, and he came in the bat and didn't. Owen Morgan's batting form has been shocking for quite some time. It's quite disturbing, actually. Want MS to play till next year at least. Yeah, only Shakib has lost the game. Russell was. I mentioned. I think I told you. I said my crystal ball. Let's just go through my crystal ball. My crystal ball said that Chennai would get 165. Now they got 192. They excelled that by 20 months. But that's all they would have needed because their opposition only got the 165. So it's ironic the 165 score came into play. It wasn't. My crystal ball was close. My crystal ball did say 165 for Chennai Super Kings, but actually it's what KKR got. But I did say Chennai Super Kings would win, and I was right. A little bit off with the score, but it wasn't too far off. Really, for the fourth time. So Mumbai Indians have now had 5. Mana John, you did say, I think you did say CSK with 175 plus. My favourite team since IPL started was CSK. CSK will be CSK. Good on you, Christian Warner. I certainly, I was actually a KKR fan, but I did say that even despite being a KKR fan, the CSK would win today, and I was right. They did. They scored more than 165, but that's exactly what the opposition got. So I'm pretty happy with my predictions. So yeah, what is the overall totals now of the? Let's have a look here. The orange cap. What's the orange caps, man? So the series. Okay, let's have a look now if there's any mention of the player of the match hasn't been announced yet, but you would think it would go to have to see. He would deserve to get it, wouldn't he? He certainly would deserve to get it. There's no doubt that at all. So, Ruturaj Gaikwad, 32 off 27. Du Plessis, 86 off 59. He batted straight at 145, but Utapa impressed me too. He got the 31 off 15, 3 sixes. Moeen Ali, quite impressively, got 37 as well. They batted quite well. They batted particularly well. A run rate of 9.6. Presentation has begun. Yeah, Shubman Gill and Venkatesh Iyer both look particularly strong, but then Raina, Narayan, Morgan, Kartik, bang, bang, bang. Alassane, Duck. Tripathi was injured. Never was in the. Lockie Ferguson chubbed him. Marvy tried the best at the end there, but it was too late. And Chakravarti had no involvement. So, no Andre Russell. No Andre Russell. That says everything, I'm afraid. No Andre Russell says everything. A lot of people made comments about what I said. He obviously gets back his trophy, that's true. Well, you can't bag this Chennai performance. Really, you can't. This was magnificent. And I did say that they would win. You'd have to think it was always on the cards. How could they not win? Honestly.
Pulling off a stickler in the final tonight. Our next award, can I invite Mr. Pragyan Oja, Natalie Dressed, pretty mean spinner in his own time,
President
and a
Oja.
member of the IPL governing council. Johnson to present the Safari Super Striker of the Match award, and it goes to Robin Uthappa.
I'm talking about the Super Striker Award. Okay. Claudio Orja was there. Of course, he's been on my show, actually. He and, of course, we had, he's a great person to have. He's a great guy, actually. Chris Cairns and Harris. Fleming has a great role for CSK run. Longest captain for Black Caps, my childhood best team, overseas likes it. Astor Fleming bowlers, wobbly, and also, so, okay, very interesting comments. Well, the reality is this has been a great victory. Well, Faf du Plessis, of course, he won man of the match with his 86. Only a matter of a handful of runs from the orange cap. His shots, Faf du Plessis shots are rather awkward looking most of the time, but he gets away with it. That was a beautiful lofted off drive, I must say. Venkatesh Iyer.
3 sixes to Venkatesh Iyer. The longest of those was 92 meters. And I can tell you with some confidence we're going to see a lot more of Venkatesh Iyer as time goes by.
Venkatesh Iyer certainly deserved his award. He batted beautifully today too. Yeah, he was right up there with us. So let's cricket. Just check it sixes. Well, I'm guessing it's the most sixes. Venkatesh Iyer, future Indian opening batsman. Gaikwad, future Indian opening batsman. There's the two blokes right there that need to watch. Gill, of course, was sound as well. You got the most sixes. Beautiful. So power player of the match. So the Cred power player of the match. So he's playing the power play, I'm guessing. After seeing the form of Owen Morgan and Liam Livingstone, I think England won't be a top four in the world. Your thoughts? I still think England will be there. Obviously, India will be there. West Indies will be there. Combination of either Pakistan or New Zealand, that's the 4-5 for me. South Africa, not a hope. Australia, not a hope. Sri Lanka, not a hope. Bangladesh, you don't know, but I don't think so. So upstart, most valuable asset of the match goes to Faf du Plessis. Agree. I player of the match. Not player, no. Mano, it's du Plessis is the man of the match. Yeah, the player of the match was Faf du Plessis. It's not a shock. He's quite shocked me, actually. I never thought he would be a batter who could play the short form as well as he does. He was struggling with the long form. He was a dour century maker after a day's play type of player. But he's shown me some skills I didn't see him. But the fact is, he's not in the World Cup. Very, very, very unfortunate indeed. Unfortunate for South Africa. I'm sorry. It's bewildering. I still don't quite get it. What's going on there? Faf du Plessis, 7 4s, 3 6s, strike rate of 146, 86 of 59 in the final. Couldn't ask for more. Opening their batting in a position where they were probably not expected to win on the basis of losing the toss. They're up against it, but I still maintain they would win, and that's what happened. I did predict 165, but that was in fact the total of KKR. Gaikwad played the spun, and Faf played the quick, simple math. Yeah, not a bad way of looking at it. have to see what the hell is he not playing for South Africa in the World Cup? Well, a few days later, the man who's the player of the match, second only to Guy, got an orange cap for the series. I'm just curious as to how, the something there's a points table. Let's have a look. We can see get any indication of statistics. I'm not getting many of the. Let's see if we can find out these features videos. Points table. Let's go. Points table. Festival C. Bowler stifled KKR to seal CSK's fourth IPL title. We're looking at. Let's look where we can get a hold of. Let's have a look here. No, well, I want to get the points table. No. Points table. There we are. So look. I don't know what the bloody South Australian points table, for God's sake. Stats. Trying to find the stats on Paytm Fair Play Award goes to Rajasthan Royals. I don't know what that's. I guess it's something good about that trophy, but let's have a look here. Perfect catch of the season. Ravi Bishnoi got that. He was out at deep mid wicket, and the ball went into the air, and he took a very incredible. Yeah, it was a lovely diving catch for sure. Dwayne Bravo has received the Safari vehicle. I'm not sure that Hetmai best striker. Okay, no, that was actually Hetmai, not sorry, Dwayne Bravo. I didn't quite recognise him. So Hetmai wins the Safari Super Striker of the season. The strike rate of 168, and his team unfortunately didn't get through the final, maybe because he didn't perform when he needed to. Yeah, I don't know what. Just trying to get the Guru. I'm trying to find it. The stat about there's a stat that I'm trying to work through that. So at this point, Mumbai Indians have won the most titles, haven't they? They've won 5. What did Dwayne Bravo get here? Must be found and confirmed. What did team with most wins in the team with the most wins in the IPL? Mumbai Indians has got 125. Chennai Super Kings 116. Kolkata 107. Then RCB. Yeah, so they're the top 3, and they won the most titles as well. So that kind of
story for all those who play domestic cricket. It can still happen for you. It's one of the most beautiful stories of this year's VOIPL. Harshal Patel. Right, it's time to invite Mr. Karan Shroff once again for the Unacademy best pocket sixes of the season. It goes to KL Rahul with 30 sixes and his good friend Robin Uthappa, who will collect the award on his behalf. 10 lakh rupees and a trophy.
Uthappa, is it? Is it? No, Uthappa against the. And that was KL Rahul. Let's crack at sixes, 30 sixes. KL Rahul's got the most, it looks like. Best six is if this. KL Rahul didn't win the orange cap, though, did he? And he was certainly in the lead leading into this match. Big Gaikwad, and also, of course, du Plessis had passed him. So, Venkatesh Iyer has won another award. Player of the season, Venkatesh Iyer, that's pretty close. So, the Cred Power Player of the season, 3 awards. Okay, so let's go through it. So, Rajasthan Royals, Deccan Chargers both have had victory. Chennai's won 2. They won 4 in total. Mumbai Indians won 5. Sunrise Hyderabad 1. KKR have won, I think, 2. The inaugural IPL took place in 2008 when the then underdogs Rajasthan Royals lifted the IPL trophy the first time, and since then they've been to 13 editions of IPL. So 14 in total. Let's just try to work. I'll work that through in a minute, but it looks like there's 5 to Mumbai, 4 to CSK. That's 9, and you got, I think, you got Kolkata Knight Riders who won 2. That's 11. So 5 to Mumbai, 4 to Chennai, 2 to KKR. That's 11. And you've got the likes of Sunrise Hyderabad 12, Deccan Chargers and Rajasthan Royals 13, 14. So that's what the totaling is, and that's rather. Mumbai Indians certainly deserve their 5, but then Chennai Super Kings now got 4. Thanks to all for the IPL coverage. Thank you, Bakul Dada. I'm pretty happy. Good night, sir. Well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm waiting for Norman's T20 World Cup coverage as well as his rants about Oz cricket. I will be certainly talking about it. Orange cap, of course, we've got the orange cap with Gaikwad there. Ruturaj Gaikwad's got the orange cap he scored 635 runs. And only, I think, 631 was what du Plessis got. Yes, this has been a great series, guys. 60 matches in total, 60. Next season will be 94 with potentially up to 10 sides, which we haven't quite heard of who they are yet, but I think Gujarat Lions might be one, and Pune might also be the other, but they're the 2 that I'm predicting. So the orange cap went to Ruturaj Gaikwad as expected. And Dwayne Bravo's won an award. I wonder what he's won the award for. He's won the award there for. Harsh Patel's won the most valuable asset of this season. So that was quite impressive indeed. Harsh Patel certainly did play very well for RCB, certainly deserving of his title, and could well be the player of the series, but unfortunately in terms of batting, it went to Gaikwad. He certainly deserved it. But have to see any special mention. Venkatesh Iyer deserves a special mention. Even Shuman Gill does. The top 4, they certainly deserve their results. So I'll go through the top 8. We'll go to a bit of a recap on the overall titles and who won what. And these have got Ben would have been telling us the player of the match. Sunrisers Hyderabad. That was back. Okay. Player of the match was Du Plessis, and player of the series was Venkatesh Iyer. Which was a trophy given to the umpires. To the umpires. You've got the umpires that get little trophies being given out now. It's quite a cute little film. How is the Seaball book? No, it's great. It's a fantastic book. Fantastic book. All the umpires getting their trophies. So now the trophy itself has to be awarded, of course. Is that Brendan McCullum? The runner-up trophy for Brendan, I guess, being the coach who was the runner-up. So Brendan McCullum having a bit of a chat now. Cockermouth Irish head coach. Two New Zealand cap coaches, as in Stephen Fleming and Brendan McCullum, both deserving of their positions in the title, and certainly was great. So let's have a look here. So 2000, just watch Brendan McCullum take the award there. So going back to 2008, the first of 14 titles, Rajasthan Royals, the Deccan Chargers won it with Anil Kumble as the player of the match. Adam Gilchrist as player of the series. Yusuf Pathan was back there in 08. Then 10 was Chennai Super Kings with Suresh Raina taking player of the match. 11 was against Chennai Super Kings with Murali Vijay getting the man of the match. Chris Gale was the player of the series back then. 12, Marvinder Bisla. Kolkata Knight Riders won. Was this 9? Was this number of teams? It was actually, back then in those days, it was actually 10 and went down to 9. I think Deccan Chargers went out of it by that stage. And you had Sunil Narayan was the player of the series back in 2012. That shows his longevity. 13, we saw Mumbai Indians win their first title, and Kieran Polo was the player of the match and Boston the series. Then KK won the year after against Kings 11 Punjab, so they made a final. Manish Pandey, who's still here now. Maxwell was the player of the series in 14. 15, Mumbai Indians. Sharma Russell. 16, Sunrisers Hyderabad with Ben Cutting and Virat Kohli was the player of the series. 17 was Mumbai Indians, where they had a bit of rain here. Against Rising Pune Super Giants. That didn't last much longer. Krunal Pandya was the player of the match in that match. Ben Stokes was the one of the series. Sunil Narayan won a few player of the series, I'll tell you. In 2018, when Chennai Super Kings beat Sunrisers Hyderabad, Shane Watson was the player of the match. 19, Mumbai Indians, Jasprit Bumrah and Andre Russell was always floating around there. Trent Bolt was in 2020 with Mumbai Indians. Jofra Archer was the player of the series. And of course, this year 21, we had CSK over KKR. Here's Owen Morgan talking. 8 teams to play the match. Player of the match was obviously Du Plessis. Player of the series, probably Venkatesh Iyer, it looks like. Owen Morgan batted atrociously again. Certainly did play. Yeah, really. Both these batted. Even Dhoni didn't have much to do in this match, but he had a significant 18 off 6, won the game the previous match, which got him into the final, and then really his batters took over. Owen Morgan, ineffectual when it was needed, most with his batting. But they made the final. After just scrapping in the 4th spot, they made the final, so you can't knock that. Interesting sides like Rising Pune Super Giants are not there, but they may be back. Deccan Chargers were there at one stage. Kings 11, Punjab 11. And of course, they lost Tripathi with the injury as well. Chennai Super Kings did. No, sorry, KKR did. And he won the match, the previous match, so that was a bit of a loss for them as well. For sure, that probably hindered KKR's performance. But as I said, 165 was the magical total. But I was slightly off my crystal ball did say 165, but it was probably relating to the score that KKR got. But I was right. I've been having a pretty good time with my predictions. I'm pretty happy. Probably SRK is crying in his yacht. As Shah Rukh Khan, I don't think he's crying. He's probably a bit unhappy, yes. So here we have Stephen Fleming having won the coach of the winning team. He's about to have a shot. Be pretty happy. Chennai Super Kings were actually in the first final back in 08 too. A pretty good coach, certainly. Dhoni is coming, yes, he will. Manu, we're listening to Malua. Okay, I'm not sure what song that is. Very impressive, guys. You got to give it to CSK. It's their fourth title. Mumbai has had 5, so that CSK done brilliantly. They're going to retain Dhoni in some way, whether he plays or not, we'll see. So Trollface knows how to rub salt into the burning wound. Okay. Yeah, Trollface. This is what we're going to call you, that Trollface. Why don't we get your name? We're going to get a name up there. We can call you something proper. So I'm going to recap. 08, Rajasthan Royals beat Chennai Super Kings. In 09, Deccan Chargers with Anil Kumble involved. Defeated RCB. That was in Johannesburg. So I'm trying to work out what happened there. Chennai Super Kings won 10 against Mumbai Indians. It was in Mumbai. The location wasn't the location of the venue. So they've had locations in Dubai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, Johannesburg in 09. Brendan McCullum and Cleveland Fleming have a bit of a hug there. Both New Zealanders both played cricket together for quite a while. Know each other's games pretty well. Sourav Ganguly has the big check with both he and the president of the BBCCI, IPL. And there we have Dhoni shaking Ganguly's hand. And Arnold. Very, very. MSN must be very happy. Are we going to hear a retirement here?
What a turnaround. Tell us the story behind the turnaround from last year to this year. It's not easy. Almost the same players other than Moeen and Robin. And you just conjured performances out of the same players.
I think before I start talking about CSK, I feel it's important that I talk about KKR. The way the position they were in at the first half of IPL, it is very difficult from that position to come.
Yeah, so Dhoni's obviously commending how KKR came back from the first leg to the second leg.
This year's IPL, I feel it was KKR. And big credit to the support staff and all the players, because it's not really easy whenever the team is not doing well. It's a very difficult task. I think the break really helped them. But tremendous performance. Now coming to CSK, again we shuffled a few players, we used them in different ways, and important was to take the responsibility. And I felt we had match winners, coming game after game, performing and doing really well. So people who were in form, they made sure that they're scoring throughout the tournament, and everybody else was chipping in.
missed so many finals over the years, but as you peel back the years, do they become a little more special?
Well, it's a difficult one. Every final is special, but also, if you start looking at the stats, you may say, okay, we are the most consistent team that actually loses in the final, because that's also a fact. But there have been a few finals where we lost because of that one brilliant performance, or a span of 15 minutes where something happened and we lost the game. So I feel it's very important to come back strong, especially in the knockout stages, and give performances where you don't let the opposition creep into the game. So that's something that we made a conscious attempt to do. And
sponsors like Vivo, Safari, Upstack, Cred, Paytm, Seat, quite a Dream 11 Women Academy.
So our practice sessions, I feel your practice sessions are more like a meeting sessions also, where it's more relaxed, and people are more open and they talk, and we see as to what really is happening. The moment you get into a team room and start talking about stuff, there's a different sort of pressure. And as cricketers, I feel 20 minutes is the max we can have concentration on. The moment you start talking about strategies and everything. So I feel our practice sessions have been really good. And
that's where, moment there. Get the other iPhone.
Communicated very well with the players.
I'm trying to get a hold of this IPL listing there for a minute. Well, that was certainly impressive, guys, wasn't it? But with, again, Mumbai Indians winning 5, Chennai Super Kings winning 4. Then you have, of course, KKR with 2. They're the main 11 wins of those 3 teams. Then you've got Sunrisers Hyderabad, Deccan Chargers, and Rajasthan Royals coming in. So really, since the first 2 tournaments back in 08 and 09, since then, Chennai, Kolkata, and Mumbai have dominated, with only one other team getting involved, which is Sunrisers Hyderabad in 16. So there you go. 3 teams have dominated, and that's fairly significant, I'm afraid. It kind of tells a story that you need to hear. We want to see ESPN quick info. Some great pictures there of Duplessis bowler stifle. Asking winning Hearts, awesome. Yeah, they win Hearts for sure. Not winning tournaments, though, unfortunately, which is never a good thing. You want to be able to win tournaments, I'm afraid. Yeah, but you can't begrudge them of that. They certainly deserve what they've. Again, Mumbai Indians winning 5 titles. Chennai now winning 4. 2 just Kolkata Knight Riders are the 3 main. Sunrisers Hyderabad, Deccan Chargers, and of course Rajasthan Royals all having won. RCB never won. Punjab Kings have never won. Or Kings 11 Punjab, whatever they were called. RCB, Delhi Capitals, Delhi Daredevils, as they were once called, haven't won either. So there's three sides currently that haven't won, and then there are some 5 that have. The 5 have Rajasthan, Sunrise Hyderabad, and then obviously CSK, Mumbai, and Kolkata. So 5 of the current 8 teams have won. The Deccan Chargers as well, but they're not here. So it's been effectively 6 teams that have won, but 3 in this current lot haven't. That's RCB, Delhi Capitals, and of course Kings 11 Punjab Kings. So 192 for 3. 165 was the total that KKR got. I was 3 off. They got, they were at one stage, they should have clobbered them. They should have got, well, not clobbered them, but they should have done a lot better, actually. And yeah, it's a bit disappointing. But not in terms of just going to try and copy this and see if I can get a hold of this. It doesn't come up as a copy as such. So it's been 14 years. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's 14 years of IPL. 14 years. 14 years of IPL. It's pretty impressive, really. 14 years of IPL. Years of IPL. With 5 wins, 5. You love. I like that. That's a way of it. I'm just going to see if I can pull that. I mean, you've got to remember that there's quite a 5 wins to Mumbai, 4 wins to CSK. That's amazing, really, from to Chennai. It's quite impressive numbers, really, when you look at it. 2 wins to Kolkata. 2. So Hyderabad. So Deccan Chargers. Where were Deccan Chargers? What was? And Rajasthan. Anyway, I'm just posted that. I thought that was quite impressive. So 14 years of IPL with wins, 5 wins to one by Rajasthan Royals, another by Deccan Chargers. Can someone tell me what Deccan Chargers was again? What area did they represent? Hyderabad had Freddie and Rohit Sharma at the helm, I suppose. Hyderabad? No, Sunrise Hyderabad had Warner at that time. So 14 years of IPL with 5 wins to Mumbai, 4 wins to Chennai, 2 wins to Kolkata. So those 3 sides basically have been the ones which have been the major suppliers of the 3 that haven't yet. So there's still RCB. Really, it was the year that RCB and or Delhi to win. The Deccan Chargers in place of Chennai when they were not around, I'm not sure. Okay, so if Narayan would have hit that 6 perfectly, then the story would be a bit different. Why? What do you mean? No, I don't think so. Deccan also had Lakshman, Rohit, Simons, Vas, Arpit Singh. Okay. Faf was missed, possibly stumped. And yeah, that had some significance, but I don't think it was enough. Clearly, Chennai deserved what they got. Deserved the victory they got. There's no doubt about that. You cannot deny them victory here, guys. No. No way you can deny them a victory. Deccan Chronicle went bankrupt and was replaced by Sun TV. So that was Sunrisers Hyderabad replaced Deccan Chargers. Is that what it was? Is that the way that it worked? Then effectively it's 2 to Sunrisers in a way. Quite a tournament indeed, guys. Now, we need to have a discussion with our friends there, which we're not going to do on the moment. Let's just compare. Yeah, so Deccan Chronicle newspaper is still available. Okay. So yeah, Deccan was really their replacement for Sunrisers Hyderabad. Okay, now I'm getting it. It's still a very impressive. Haven't seen that newspaper in ages. It was garbage back then, akin to toy. Okay, Gujarat Lions was not that good. Yeah, I think Gujarat Lions will probably come back though. Maybe not the same naming, but they'll come back. Yeah, I'm still intrigued by the way that this turns. So 14 seasons of IPL, 3 teams have had, in fact, effectively the lion's share of the tournament. It is very impressive indeed. Looking at our dashboard here, guys. Again, guys, if you're here, you should be view, liking, and sharing my videos. And some 700, and I think what's the total now? It's in total I've had, I think it's around that. Let's have a look. I've had 777 videos, some 496 that have been recorded, and this is the 281st that's live. So that's 777 is my total record. Boy, oh boy. But you can't knock what we're seeing today. We really have seen a great performance. Radharaj was cool today. Look, he certainly was. But Tuf du Plessis has to be given a lot of credit. He was second on the orange cap behind Gaikwad, Radharaj Gaikwad. Second was, of course, now du Plessis, and I think KL Rahul was then third. A number of great performances throughout the tournament. Venkatesh Iyer, also the likes of Harsha Patel, all played very well. Hazelwood's the most informed Australian player coming into the World Cup. Maxwell's as well. I would have included perhaps who else would have included in the Australians lineup? Hazelwood and Warner certainly not. C. Smith absolutely non-existent. Nathan Coulter-Nile played well. He's not in the World Cup. What is in the mementos? What mementos? Koshi Tuskers was a joke, same as okay. That was a while back. But yeah, there's a lot to reminisce on this tournament. It was quite a good tournament. Who was the other Australian player that played reasonably well? Certainly, Maxwell played well. Marcus Stoinis was looking good too, but he's injured. So Australian time players out of this competition, really, it's only Maxwell that can hold his head up high, and Hazelwood. They're the only two. The rest, Ben Cunningham didn't even get a game. What the hell is he getting paid to be there for? Pune Warriors with Ganguly at helm was another joke. Sometimes we're saying that. Okay, Butler won for MI. When was that? Guys, you haven't. I've got a video here of the Mark Wood. You haven't watched it, guys. I'm disappointed. Maybe I'll watch it this morning. There was Sam Wilson to the heat, but he wasn't playing the playing 11. Yeah. Very, very low numbers there for Mark Wood's video. Disappointed with that. Yeah, very impressive tournament all round. You've got to take your hats off to the CSK. Chennai Super Kings have been marvellous. Dhoni, well, he had experience around him, didn't he? Bravo. We'll see today, even Moeen Ali. Suresh Raina, maybe not in this game. Yeah, a lot of depth there. And Dhoni himself, Kaka deserves to lose. Well, Labour's not good enough. Whereas SA's unfair to Warner this year. So no, Donna 007, no. Warner deserved exactly what he got. What do you expect of pitchers in Oman? Well, they're going to be placid. There won't be too much going on, but they're all the qualifiers, don't forget. The main matches are on in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I don't think Sharjah's got many. What do you expect of the pitchers in South? Well, yeah, as I've said, there's not much to expect from the pitchers in there at all. So, looking at the way that this tournament went, Delhi Capitals are probably the most overwhelming, biggest disappointment. They probably should have been in the final, but CSK did a number on them, and now CSK beat KKR. KKR scraped in the fourth. RCB, well, I can't work out really what happened there. They really didn't perform what they had. A certain element of what's the word for it? They probably needed a bit more mental strength. Old timers coming good in the finals for CSK. First it was Watto and 18 now Faf. Well, Faf du Plessis including the Southern but now he's too late now. He's not. They'll be very stubbornly not putting him in there, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure that he's gone. Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty there with the way that went. 388 there, I think was the total. A lot of people put chat messages in the preview, some 567 chat messages. Quite impressive. And this session, albeit very late. So that's an IPL 21 over and over, the 14th instalment of the IPL. The 15th is just around the corner, April next year. It's in 2022. And I'm going to make hell or high water. I'm going to be there. But we know, as of 1st November, I can travel. A bit late for this. Choker of the tournament, Kohli. Well, yeah, Morgan was awful as a batsman, certainly was. Do you listen to any of the podcasts from the friends of the show? Yes, I do. Of course I do. How are you feeling? I'm happy for CSK. I mean, KKR with my team, they just weren't good enough. That was simply, they basically just got into the four, so it's not, I'm not too concerned by that. Who would see us? Okay, Pujara 2020 up your winner. Well, I don't think so. Eternal Chokers RCB. Well, it does look like it. CSK will probably retain Dhoni in some form. Delhi batting choke. Delhi was just in an experience. Well, they were the previous year's final. This year they had Ponting there. They had a lot of good things going for them. Really, it's very frustrating, guys. It really is frustrating. Never like seeing that happen to a team. Never like that team. There's a lot to like about the series. I mean, Dhoni, constant. IPL is unpredictable. It is. Half control, I would agree with that. But you only can gauge how it goes by the way that the teams win. Mumbai Indians certainly is not unpredictable, nor is Chennai and Kolkata. They both, all three lots of them wouldn't be called unpredictable when you look at the scheme of things. They just won themselves titles. Will we be covering the T20 World Cup too? Of course, Buck will do. Of course, it will be. India Pakistan T20 well, going to be a mega one. Oh, absolutely. You're a wonderful thing. You're a wonderful man doing continuously podcast. Hats off. You really love you. Thank you very much. How many players can a franchise retain? It still looks like two. Yeah, zero to exactly. That's a stat that's coming through there from Dr. Joy. Yeah. Very frustrating. 35, 636. Come on, guys, please view, like, and share the posts that I've got there and subscribe. Get me some subscribers, please. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing. Do you find any good talent from Australia doing well in all formats? There's a few. Josh Inglis is probably the one that'll be the highlight for the tour coming up of the World Cup. Keeper batsman. Don 007, he certainly is probably one. Can you guys subscribe? Subscribe, and pass it on. Get people to watch. That's what we need. The final review preview, and this is the so-called. I had a video there from Mark Woody. Guys, you should be listening to this. Do Australia people watch IPL till midnight? Well, I'm watching it. It's not midnight, it's until 6:17 a.m. in the morning. Certainly impressive, guys. Certainly impressive. It's late. I know, it's late. It's early. The sun's coming up. It was raining like cats and dogs yesterday. Ask questions, guys. Let's talk about it. Let's break this down. The tournaments, the way that they go. Moon Man in the morning's on 777th video. Jesus. So this year, 777. Averaging about 3,500 views per video. It's some are much higher, some are less. Sonny Norman, what do you want? Sometimes I feel like Tim Payne was a wasted potential. What do you say? Well, he was great when he's younger. He's not bad now. He's not the best captain. He's the best we've got at the moment. Better than Steve Smith. Why do you think Dubai is so successful with bubbles unlike other countries? So hot. So excruciatingly hot. Bajaia lifting the IPL trophy. Is he? Didn't do anything, did he? Part of the squad, I guess, but that's about as far as it went. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for this tournament. 14 seasons. 14. Wish them all the luck. They really deserve it. They really deserve it. 14 seasons is amazing. Quite an impressive thing. Someone's a subscriber. It's good to see. It really is important for me for you guys to view, like, and share these posts and subscribe and share around and get people to watch this. Okay, so what have we got here? Is this the last of Donny Kirk Cully? He hasn't mentioned, has he? Your views on Mitch McConaughey? I feel he's. Well, he was. Mitch, he's a pretty good player at his time. Don Dallas, 7, I would agree with, a good player at his time. Brendan McCullum was underrated. Look what he did. Magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Absolutely amazing. So in India at the moment, it is just approaching 1 a.m. Here at 6:20 a.m. No, we're not reading my comments. Sonny, I'm not reading your comments because there was a word there about the 24th of October, India versus Pakistan. I'm not going to mention the words before, Sonny. There must be something we read about them. But the 24th of India, the India versus Pakistan game we'll be watching. Is this the last? I don't know. So Dhoni will play 3 more years of CSK. Will he be involved in some form? Adi Rai, I think you're right. Why wouldn't he have just won another comp? Captain a team, he won another comp. Whereas some of the other players have gone nowhere near it. He's won 4 rings or whatever you call it. Very impressive indeed. I think the same trophy is issued every year. It might well be. Nathan Coulter-Nile, I would say, is also an underrated talent for Australia. He wasn't able to realise his potential. He's not even in the squad going to the World Cup, is he? They're sadly lacking in talented players at the moment. Warner's in terrible form. Smith is not in good form. Sonos is injured. Maxwell's the only one that's holding his head up high. Hazel did pretty well for the CSK side in the final, yes. He and Pat Cummins will be extremely important. Starks are out of form. There's not much going in their favour, to be honest. That's for sure. So, yeah, Venki played well for KKR. Venkatesh Iyer played very well. He the young player of the tournament. John at 007. I think Nathan Cosnell is certainly underrated. There's no doubt. But their motivation should be high. They're in a tournament where you're getting paid a lot of money and playing for Australia as well. Yeah. Who would make it to your 11 for a best combined 11 of the IPL? Dhoni would have to be there. I'd still say Kohli. I begrudgingly would say Shane Watson, and bowlers, even Suresh Raina in his time. Pollard would certainly be there. Maxwell would deserve to be there. Abby de Villiers has been up and down. I enjoyed the IPL. The only problem was it was in 2 legs. It was a bit long. He has the right Haraj from the T20 World Cup. Too late for him to make it, but he'll be in future teams. Don't you worry. Yeah, I think this was a great IPL. Well, first leg, KKR didn't play well. Second leg, they played really well. They came through and got into 4th. And then started on a winning way. RCB would be very disappointed in getting beaten. They would have liked to have been in the final. Delhi Capitals would have liked to have been in the final. Both wasn't. Did you enjoy it? Russell not play there. That was a mistake. So that before the game, KKR were going to need him. The middle order collapsed. They needed someone like him to go berserk at the end. Pujara was there, but not playing for CSK. Surprise. Well, that wasn't surprising. He wouldn't play. Come on. CSK didn't need him anyway. Maybe his cheering was pretty good. Any chances in World Cup squad? For who? Pujara? No. What rule changes would you like to make in next year's IPL situation? Get rid of that 2.5 minute damn. What was it? The timeout, whatever it is. Oh, I think that really annoys me. It's purely about getting sponsors pay, I think. Cyril Terrari was a great talent, but never realised his potential. Yeah, that's kind of true. Not over for him, though, I don't think. Good to see Tupper do well today. Another man of great history. Certainly, he's a man of great history for the squad. Got to get a couple of my Aussie mates to talk about this. That ball touches Cam. Should it given out, or that was a fair decision? I think it was a fair decision. Yeah, it was a fair decision, I think. 10 final for MSD, 9 finals for CSK. So yeah, they've I need to get a hold of that little chart. In an average in purple caps, average start rate that does not count. Is it fair? Yeah. Well, I'm just curious as to the chart that we saw. Darren Brown is in Grafton. First of all, I thought he can't go anywhere at the moment. It's been a great tournament. Did I not add that on there? Just trying to see whether I added that on there. Community, what was the community here? No, I didn't add that on. Damn it. Why didn't I add that on? So what question am I going? Will Stark, Root, Finch play IPL? Well, Aaron Finch, yes. Mitchell Stark, yes. Root, I don't think he is in the squad, is he? Becoming the captain of the new franchise coming next year, maybe. Bulfy, well, that'll be interesting. Do you think he'll get there? don't think that's what I'm hearing. Well, I'm not hearing anything, to be honest, about that. So I don't know whether that's true or not. Faf du Plessis, quite a shock, actually. Faf du Plessis is quite a shock. And the fact he's not in the World Cup is just beyond me. Will you try to add more glam during the 2020 World Cup coverage? Yes, I will. Also wanted to know your views about Chris Green. Well, he's certainly admirable performances. Still a bit raw, hasn't quite got there yet, but he'll get there. And Testosterone, we'll see how he goes first. No, that's the first decision. Josh Phillip was a big disappointment for RCB. Yeah, he was. Josh Inglis, another keeper batsman, is going to be one that to watch in the future. Who did you think will be the captains of the 10 teams in the upcoming season? Name some. Well, unless something dramatic happens, I think Kohli's going to be there again. Not Kohli, sorry, Dhoni. Kane Williamson will be one of them. Samson should also be there. Punt / Shreyas Iyer, they'll be there. Carl Rahul should be still there. I would think he should still be there. Owen Morgan, you'd have to think too. Did I mention MS Dhoni? I think he might be still there. Yeah, I think the majority will be the ones that will stay as is. Honestly, I can't see there'll be a hell of a lot different. Warner won't be there. Who was the best fielder of the IPL? I always go to Jadeja for that. How did you not go to Jadeja for that? Sports tax going nuts about there. I think it was there. Mark Wood interview, you're not looking at that. How was Morgan's captaincy there? Morgan's not a bad captain at all. We can't take anything away from Morgan's captaincy. His batting is atrocious, but captaincy wasn't bad. They won the. So they did all the right things. They just didn't hold them well. Do you think domestic cricket for spinners is important? Yes, as I don't see any new spinner for Australia in the best. Yeah. Do you find any spinner go play alongside the line? No. They're very lucky in spinners, I tell you. Will RCB ever win a title? Well, not on the Dhoni, not on the Kohli, they won't. Live in the IPL. Could have been, but he's somehow not in favour. It's not given much credit there. The Mark Wood interview, none of you are listening to that. That's 777, okay. India versus Pakistan, big one, 24th of October. That's just over a week away, isn't it? Just over a week away. Krishna, new teams would add flavour and challenge for next leg. Well, you would think so. It'll be interesting to see what happens there with that. It's always a pleasure to talk about the IPL. It has been a pretty impressive tournament. It's some 60 games, 94 next time. I think that's a tad too many, to be honest. A tad too many, I have to say. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with the number of games. 94 is way too much. 60 was quite a challenge. Mind you, we played it over a protracted period of time, so I hope it might be IPL's entertaining, it certainly is. Who would be the captain of the new teams? Well, that's a very interesting question. Guess what, Jay Denbach, Italy team. Well, he happily has that background, so therefore justifiably so. We're getting paid good money to be there. So that's all well and good. 777 videos I've put together. Well, I've uploaded or been live. Out of those, we've got, let's have a look. 777 videos, 496 have been recorded, so almost 500 recorded, and 281 live. 777, we've got November, December to go, a fair bit of October, 2.5 months away. Will I get 1,000? You'd think I probably would get about another 200. I'll go close. Will IPL affect T20 World Cup viewership? No. It's a much more broader World Cup. Buckle data. Add Chakravarti for Pandya if Pandya is unfit. Yeah. What changes will you make to the following possible India World Cup? Okay. Rohit, Kohli, Kishan, Surya, Rahul, Pandya. Pandya is not on the side. Jadeja, Thakur, Bart, Bhuvi, Chahar, Bumrah. Pandya is not on the side. Probably you've got Thakur already there. Pandya is not on the side. Maybe you might put, but I'm not sure about the replacement of Chakrabarti, maybe. ICC should help teams like Kenya and Zimbabwe revive their competitive levels of the 90s. Yep, I would agree with that. Or I would accept that. Certainly would accept that. So your favourite team? Favourite team for what? The IPL or for the World Cup? IPL was KKR from way back. Way back. I was a KKR fan. Now, I took on Delhi Capitals. They predicted they would win, and they didn't. So that's probably my two teams. And other cricket, obviously, Australia's up there. I like India. I used to like Sri Lanka. Maybe it seems to be an interesting team to me. Yeah, they certainly are a country which is virtually South Africa. Should Rajaraj be included in the T20 World Cup squad as a reserve for the last moment? Maybe we're late for that, but he's certainly going to be in contention in the future, and so will Venkatesh Shah. You might find there's two great openers there for the future. Can't believe it. After such a great start, KO blew it up. They did. David Weiss playing for Namibia, played for Zampa and Agar have been dynamite in T20. They're probably two reasonable. I mean, I like Zampa a lot. Agar, okay. Strepson, not my type of player. I would not have him in the side. That's my thoughts on those two. Yes. World Cup is a different level. Those not performing would give it back. World Cup matches that put weight behind them. Yeah, well, it's a different level in some ways, but team combination, team harmony. Australia hasn't got it, South Africa hasn't got it, Sri Lanka hasn't got it. Bangladesh emerging back again, certainly. But then you look at the top five more countries. Pakistan and New Zealand will vie for one of the top four, but England, West Indies, and India are the top three, in whatever order you'd like to put them. That's my thoughts, guys. $94.62. Yeah, there's some interesting stats for that. Agar, best T20 bowler. Well, he's pretty good. Hazaranga, Shamsi, Adil Rashid was not good in IPL. Shocking. Yeah, they were. Rashid Khan was surrounded by some pretty average players as well. Norman Sir, Bangladesh, any chance of top four? They have a chance. Yes, they have a chance. Very good chance. They've been playing well. Shakib Al Hussein's one of the ones that need to play. Slower backhand bowling are keys for teams. On these conditions, yes. Yeah, a lot to be said about that. India will win the T20 World Cup. Well, pound for pound, they have to this year. Right, they really should. And if they don't, they'll be a bit disappointed. But Pakistan should be discounted, or New Zealand, or New Zealand lesser. West Indies, huge. And obviously in England. Norman Sir, any chance Tamim Iqbal ODI runs 10,000? Possible, if he keeps playing, yeah. Will Steve Smith get a chance to captain in the upcoming season? No. Flat no. No, I don't think so at all. Not a hope. Steve Smith, his captaincy's gone. It'll hopefully go to a young player. Like I'm hoping Jason Sangha comes through. I really, really do. Wholly personally dejected is dangerous to team Indian mental level. I mean, not with Dhoni around as the mentor now. I think that's a huge boost to them, and he will keep them in check. Don't worry. No worries. Australia cricketers' goal time was 2007. Yeah, pretty much around there. Do you think Chahal should be included? It's too late for him to be included now, and they may have missed a chance. But they've got good spinners in there, so they'll do okay with the spin department. I'm pretty sure. So I don't think there's really any issue there, to be honest. So CSK won their 4th title, slowly catching up Mumbai Indians with 5. CSK seems to have a good franchise network, to be honest. 5 for Mumbai, 4 for Chennai, 2 for Kolkata. Dhoni winning the IPL and mentor to the team will be a boost. Absolutely. Jadeja can turn a game on his, well, of course. And Andrew Simon, any updates coaching? Andrew Simon. No. You don't mean Andrew McDonald, do you? I still believe Peter Handscomb should be given chances against from my side. He's only 30 right now, and he bats well, and the Asian missions can be a better result than Alex Carey, and agree with. Yeah, it disappoints me in some ways, Peter Handscomb. But Josh Inglis is the one to watch out for, who's just come through. He's the one that will certainly impress. Don't worry. In my opinion of Josh Inglis, what I've seen and heard is very good. IPL should give the best fielder award. I thought they do. I thought they do have an award like that. Certainly catches wise, they do. They certainly do in terms of catches. I don't see Samson Rahul captaining in the IPL. Why not? They both are pretty good. Pakistan will host Asia Cup next year. Ramir's got huge backing and support by his own Jay Shah. Both nations are moreover relief for Pakistan fans. That'll be good. I think that's a good thing. Adam, best wicket, that's been my favourite. Yeah, Adam Wilkes, there's no doubt about it. He was always up there. Always up there. Absolutely. Ramesh Raja, ego. I think he's that ego driven. He's quite a nice person, actually. Honestly, he is. Wouldn't be concerned about him. Yeah, so any more comments, guys? Let me know what your thoughts are. Tell me in your messages what your thoughts are. It was a very, very resounding victory. Good coaching, Stephen Fleming. MS Dhoni, what a champion. Absolute champion. Expected KKR to win. Harshgupta, well, I didn't expect him to win. Even though they should have won based on winning the toss and bowling. They did the right thing. Set the situation up beautifully, and it just didn't happen. Ramesh is a nice person. He approached me, his own got support. They're pretty reasonable at that level, guys. There's nothing wrong with their attitudes. They pretty much do the right thing. What are the names of the new teams? Any idea? Well, Gujarat Lions is one of the ones that's been mentioned. Pune something. They'll be both there. I think Gujarat seems to be the one that's been given the most strength because of the ground in Ahmedabad. Maybe the word Ahmedabad may be included. But it'll be in Ahmedabad because of the ground. The ground's pulling a lot of weight. Whether 10 teams can survive is the question. It's 94 matches is a really, really, really long haul. It's disturbing for most people. Very, very long haul, guys. Very, very, very long haul. Extremely long haul. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Delhi needs Smith as captain. No. Nostradamus, I'm afraid you're not right. Williamson was okay for Sunrisers Hyderabad in the end. It was, wasn't it? Australia will win. Okay, New Zealand have good coaches, Fleming and McCullum, that's certainly right. Australia will win the Ashes 5-0. I don't think so. Or is it only for Sergio Khan drops the World Cup as well? No, I don't know whether there's much truth to that. I can't comment on it, and I don't know whether that's true. Coley started shooting for advertisement. What advertisement? What advertisement? Tell me. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Owen Morgan keeps getting his teams into these positions, even with his World Cup winning, both of them. So, you know, England down under, Ashley's epic down under. Well, I'm not as enthused about it as I normally would be. England's test opening average is average cricketers. Yeah, we'll see how they go down there. I mean, Jack Crawley's pretty good. David Milan's pretty good. You know, Rory Burns hasn't been bad. Hamid, I don't know what he'll be like in the conditions. He doesn't look that good. Why KK lose today? Good Casper, the friendly ghost. I'm not sure. Zezun Islam, maybe W220, probably. Yeah. Well, why not? Why KK lose today? Yeah, it's just unfortunate. They had everything in position to give it a good shape. Openers did very well. Middle order collapsed. No Andre Russell. Alex Hale's better than Joy. Well, Roy, I mean. Yeah, well, Alex Hales has done his dinner with some rather not so friendly approaches. He's probably blown for himself, to be honest. Check advertising Star Sports Channel. I think I did see it pop up actually. Here we are. I think I've just seen it. This mess up. Star Sports is supposed to be on Instagram. Is that what you're talking about? Let's have a look. Instagram.
So what's the message to the fans? We'll come back strong. That's what we are known for.
They've posted some pretty strong videos there, it looks like, Star Sports. I'm Colin. So thanks to taking the question. My name is Minimate. That's good, no problems. Well, change the name to Minimate then. Dhoni has different things in his Pandora box. Robin, Tapa, $1 million decision. Any team can't take it. Yeah, he knew what he was doing. Many became millionaires today, I guess. The players-wise, well, you're probably right. You're probably right. MS Dhoni will be flavoured. I'm going to talk to the public about him a bit more and the World Cup. 96, there we are, 94. Okay, we're almost getting there, guys. Haris Sohail, world-class ODI player, but Pakistan ignored him. How is Chris Cairns' health? That's a good question. I don't know. Well, he hasn't died, so that's one good thing. He must have stabilised. That's all I can think, Christian. Well, he must have stabilised. That's what my thoughts are there. World Cup prize money less than IPL. That's a bit of a worry. Not a shock, but a bit of a worry. A little bit of a shock. A little bit of a shock. A little bit of a shock. Yes, so again, 5 victories to Mumbai Indians, 4 to the famous CSK franchise, which really is MS Dhoni, a la MS Dhoni all the time. He is a major part of it. Major part of it. Major part of it. Nathan, any updates? Fast bolt blower. Nathan Coulson-Isle, you're talking about? Well, he's not in the World Cup squad, which is a bit disappointing. Is that the question you got? I'm not sure that's what you're asking about. Nathan Coulson-Isle, he's not playing. No. What do you mean by that? You mean, tell me who you, Azul Hassan, tell me who you're talking about. Guys that are joining now, if you're going to join, view, like, and share the post, and obviously subscribe. Hit the notification button. Eyes on cricket. Eyes on cricket. 777 video. Okay. Nathan player, 2000 fast bowler World Cup T20. Are we talking about Nathan Coulson-Isle, are we? Can you player come after retirement? Yeah, why not? What is your recommendation for other teams? What can other teams learn from today's match? Cool and calm head. Good opening stand. Steady bowling. Just accurate, steady bowling. Long hair. Okay. Nathan Bracken you're talking about, I think. Trivia. Dharmashala, India is high screen Samuel. Yeah, that's a very good point. Interesting. Where is Chris Vernon? Now, Chris Vernon is in Spain on a holiday with his new girlfriend. That's where he is. Nathan Bracken, he's injured himself. He's too old now, so he's into another career. He's not available. He's not around. Well, guys, the end of a 60-match streak, 6-0, 94 next season. 94, oh my God, that's too long. The two new teams, will they be Gujarat Lions or Ahmedabad Animals, who knows, or a Pune? Three of the likely teams, all surrounding the Ahmedabad Stadium. The news on cricket coming back, so well, not in any hurry. I'll tell you, despite good players, why Punjab lose every time? I don't know. Maybe not keeping the same squad, not having that lead all the way through. KL Rahul is the leader, though. I think he's worthy of keeping. I'd keep him if I were them. Definitely keep him. A lot of interesting aspects. So let's just, for those coming online, we're talking a lot about the teams that have made the. Let's have a look. I've got that here. Sportskeeda put it out. I wonder if they updated it. They have it. The IPL winners. So I'm going to try and keep this. I'm trying to get this. Hang on, guys. Just let me see what I can do it. Let me pull it. Okay, so copy. See if I can work this. Let's see if I can work this. Winston is weak side, blowing side. What Mullins is doing this is he's on radio in the mornings in Australia, earning money there. I'm seeing Gujarat or Pune, despite good players, Punjabi. Okay, your top 4 teams to the World Cup: England, India, West Indies, other Pakistan and New Zealand. I saw Tom Harrison in today's match. ECB chief. Okay. Mental issue or fatigue or strokes. Is he playing the World Cup? No. Nope. So let me see if I'm going to post this. The mumble jumbledness. How to fix that up? So, as the Australian team started their practice for World Cup, they're in UAE. I'm not sure where they are exactly, but they're there somewhere. Whether it's Dubai or they're not in Oman, I don't think. They'll be the top 3. They won't be. Considering the pledges, anyway, I wouldn't be that sure of England qualifying. Oh, I'm pretty sure they'll qualify. They've got the best side. Got the best side, guys. Certainly got the best side.
I have faith in 5 minutes.
Sorry, guys, I just had a mother interrupt. That's quite nice to pay. Covers on birth of a child. There certainly is. Which team were you supporting today? I was supporting KKR, but CSK won, so I'm going to have to get out of here, guys. Just give me a second. I'll move rooms. Okay, so give me a sec, guys. We'll just get this out of here. We'll move rooms, shall we? Just go into this room here. End the series here. We'll have to just. All right, guys. So bear with me a sec, guys. We'll just get this position well enough. It's a bit of a darkened room. It's obviously early in the morning here in this country. So who was that? It was my mother. She said, "I'm taking care of it, guys." Norman getting scolded. Well, it was. It's funny, isn't it? What do you think will be RCB captain? It probably will be. Well, they think Carl Roll might move across. All right, guys. We might end this show very shortly. So give me a sec, guys, and I'll go back and some England players were so furious with any performance in England they opted of a second leg. Well, that's true. That was more about some other political issues going on. So cricket mentally strong compared to other nations, but they're not in good form at all at the moment. At all, guys. Quite disappointing indeed. So a lot to be said about that. All right, guys. We need to be able to work. If you give me a few minutes, I'll just deal with this. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Just give me 2 seconds. Just have to bring my computer in here. I'll be there in a sec. All right, guys. So we want Bevan and Ponting in Australia. We'll open the drapes, Norman. Let there be light. We'll let it go. So some England players were so furious. That's true. You might be feeling sleepy. I'm a little bit sleepy. I'm actually fine, to be honest with you. I'm actually very fine. Sorry for the darkness, but we had a few. I take care of my mother, who was in her 90s, guys, so it's a bit difficult on occasions. New Zealand depends on Conway. Well, Conway and Williamson and their bowling strength. They've got and Milne, they've got Lockie Ferguson, they've got Southey, they've got Bolt. They've got quite a good bowling side. Batting side, it depends. Ross Taylor, I'm not sure what in fact, I think he's not playing. Thank you very much for coming cricket in general. Thank you, Adu Rai. You might be feeling so. No, I'm fine, guys. So it's been quite an impressive situation indeed. So Bit of a distraction there, guys. Sorry. Okay, so do you like to be in the stadium of the 220 World Cup? I'd love to be there. Australia need to be brushed and freshened up. No, they've got a long way to go. They're going to go through a cycle of hurt. Well, Australia, I'm afraid. A cycle of hurt. Okay, so you're a very good person. I hope you're always healthy. Thank you. Lighting issue. I'm still here, guys. You can see me quite clearly, can't you? Oh, I'll put the lights on. That's a bit better. I didn't have the lights on, did I? All right, guys, we've got a bit of a... There's no lighting issues, just me having to move from place to place. And after doing it for... How long am I doing it for? Almost 2 hours here at the move rooms. Yeah, there's a lot to be said about the social. Good morning, Norman. Anish Thakur. What time is it? 6 a.m.? It's in fact 6:58 a.m. 6:58 a.m. It's very late for you guys as well. But ask me questions about what you thought about the game. Obviously, MS Dhoni, once again, his 4th championship. 5 to my Indians. They're still ahead, but CSK is right up the backside of them. And then obviously you have Kolkata Knight Riders with 2, which makes up 11 of the 14, with then 3 going to 1 each to Sunrisers, Hyderabad, Deccan Chargers and Rajasthan Royals. But the 3 teams that haven't won, Punjab, Delhi, and of course RCB, still languishing without a result. They must be pretty disappointed, especially RCB. Do you like living in an apartment? No, yeah, it's a house. What went wrong with KKR tonight? They just simply weren't good enough. They middle order collapsed. The openers were really, really good. 1:30 a.m. in India. Well, you're still up. I've been up all night, so I appreciate that. We certainly have had a pretty good. Anyone joining us for the first time, you need to actually make sure you subscribe, guys, because I work bloody hard on this channel. I love your interaction, but I'd like to know that you're actually there. To subscribe means it costs you nothing to subscribe, guys. Absolutely nothing. Not a single squat of a cent. So really, it's a matter of being able to do that. So Australian cricket is mentally strong, but because they are more opportunities, earn money. But Asian cricket's life, yeah, somewhat so, somewhat true. But I don't know whether it's totally true. Yeah, but there's a lot to be said about the desire of Indian supporters, certainly to actually. There's a Mark Wood video, guys. Have you seen that? I want you to see that. Take an interview in the Australian streets after this match. I certainly will. I'm going to be going there probably sometime next hour or so. I'll go out on the streets and have a bit of a look around, shall I? Absolutely. Trying to get a few of my cricket fans to subscribe to this amazing channel. Thank you. Please do that. Concerted effort. Please do that. We've got pretty good numbers here today, considering the time. Mark Wood, good blower. Good blower. You are indeed working hard. Yes, thank you. So yeah, the video there, I have you guys haven't looked at it. That's the video on Mark Wood, with his difficult accent. It's something you should watch, guys, if you get a chance. Certainly worthy of watching. Ha. What's the ha for? Great to see you after post-match. Thank you. I try to do more of that as time goes on, but it's not easy, you guys. There's my alarm going off. How's that, my alarm? My alarm goes off, for God's sake, to wake up. It's certainly been an impressive numbers. There's a lot going on that you don't see, guys, in the background. It's quite an impressive situation. So we had quite a few viewers there for the first program. Mohamed Yusuf, the legendary cricketer, he certainly is. I do think so. how big by is concerned is Morgan's form in England going to the World Cup? Huge. They'd be very, very concerned. England would be very, very concerned to have their captain not performing well. But he just steered a team into the final of the IPL, so he can't be doing too badly. They'd be pretty happy with that. They can't keep carrying him though, but he did lose because he had opportunity to bat today and didn't do it. Did not do it. Very, very poor, actually. Very poor indeed. You have to argue that there's a lot to be. Yeah, he needs to. Can you tell me something about your daily routine? I get up at all weird hours of the day, don't I? Okay, certainly do. So ask questions, guys, about today's game. It was such a significant match. But I mean, RCB. So now that the players have to transition very, very quickly within a week to the IPL. The 24th is the India-Pakistan match. That's just over a week away. What a match that's going to be. I'm going to try and get a very good coverage. I play good Asian pitch. Can you tell me something? Okay. Yeah, so there's a fair bit there going on. So we seem to be getting numbers here. Okay. Where have you guys all been? You should have been here earlier. Time to go to bed, isn't it, for most of you? So Joe Root's not deemed to be a short form game player. He doesn't get much of a Guernsey at all, and in any of the formats he's often left out. What's my thoughts on who should India go for as head coach of the World Cup? Anish Thakur, I would stick to people. I really Rahul Dravid should be your coach, and if it's not, I would keep Ravi Shastri there, for God's sake. He's done very well. India versus Pakistan mega match, close to 2.2 billion viewership. It's going to be huge, and deservedly so. It's a great spectacle, and it's a great rivalry, and it should be approached in the right manner and should be applauded. There are some great sides there. Certainly some great sides. Steve Smith's most handsome cricketer. I wouldn't say that. Disappointment for Root, not in a World Cup squad. I don't think he really is so certain of that. I mean, Owen Morgan's a better captain. Good night, Aaron Roy. Ravi Shastri has decided to call it a day. He has, I know that. But he's still someone I like to see him continue, to be honest. I wonder if he's been pushed out. Not because he's not good enough, because of his age. He's got some ridiculous problem with people's ages. I don't know why that's the case, but they do. The comment situation. Delhi just has no luck. Yeah, there's a bit of truth there. Delhi certainly has no luck. Yeah, the calmness of a Dwayne Bravo and the Dhoni's and even Faf du Plessis, who was pretty damn impressive, I must say. Faf du Plessis was pretty damn impressive. I like England cricket team system, different players. Testo, yeah. Thoughts on Stephen being a coach for CSK? Well, he's cool, calm head. They know what they were doing. They know what they're up against. They planned it perfectly. They knew exactly where their end goal was. Pretty impressive, actually. Well, Ravi Shastri will do a commentary again, probably. Quite likely to. In fact, guys, if you're viewing for the first time, do view, like, and share. Subscribe to Eyes on Cricket. You can see the Eyes on Cricket logo here. There it is there. Seem to have had a bit of a crowd come on in the last half an hour or so. So Steve Smith has done a live in his YouTube channel. A live today, has he? Okay, they're all just jumping on the bandwagon. They're not doing it for the right purposes, I don't think. They're just doing it because they see there's a bit of an avenue for them. I mean, it's good to see them, but there are people who've jumped onto it due to the timing. And is that a good thing? I guess it's okay. Steve Smith is wanting to be Australian captain again. He won't be in any hurry. Well, Justin Langer certainly has not agreed with him being captain. Has done a lot. Okay, so yeah. It's certainly been an impressive series indeed, guys. And thanks to you guys, I've had a lot of viewership there for some 60 matches. I've done all 60 matches, all of them. Haven't missed a match over 2 legs, as you know, and it's been quite intense. And I was most impressed with Delhi all the way through, and they fell away at the end, which is very sad. CSKA were very, very consistent and went under the radar for most of the time. And look where they are now. They've won the IPL for the 4th time. Smith, any chance of captain? I don't think he's going to captain again. I think he shouldn't. Du Plessis being so good for CSKA, so I made right decision for leaving him for the world. No, hugely bad. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. Huge mistake indeed. Very, very big mistake. Tahir not being there. I mean, they've got a lack of batters. They've got Rabada and Norgay, who obviously played well here. They'll be pretty lethal together, but I don't know whether they're enough. They need more batters, and they haven't got it. I don't think. Really don't think. At all. It's 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday here, guys. Come on, give us some of your questions, guys. I need to hear your questions. I think there should be a Champions T20 League again. It seems to be not in favour at the moment at all. It seems to be lacking in a bit of favour there. So that's something that, they need to work on. Do you think Longer can cling on till the end of 2022? Do you think Justin Langer? No, Justin Langer's gone May next year, if not earlier, by the way. But I think May next year is his contract end. And well, we've got rid of a lot of Australian head hierarchy, the likes of Earl Reddings. We've got Sutherland's gone. There's been a whole heap of their media manager, Tim Whitaker, who performed a rather bad day to lose his job. But yeah, the likes of their current crop, the CEO, they've got a good CEO in place now. But in terms of, I don't know. I think the coach is there for much longer. I should have lifted the band. So are you ready to travel to UAE? Well, I'm November 1st, we'll wait and see. South Africa player, no interest played for South Africa, move to England. That's happening a lot too. You're right. That's pretty prominent. Well, if you're going to be treated with this quota system of players, it does lead to a problem, I'll tell you. Right now, it really does lead to a problem. Yes. Other thoughts, guys? Ask away. This is an IPL conclusion after 60 matches. Looking for that magical subscriptions from you guys, the ones that have come on new. South African captain Bavuma, he's okay player, but I don't think he's the right captain. What can other franchises learn from CSKA and Asimba? Well, it's about that steadiness, that calmness, playing for the long haul, knowing how to win moments, which doesn't seem to happen. Satvik, do you think do you like the TV T20 World Cup song? Yes, I do. I do. Right, I do too. We'll see me live after the IPL almost the next week. I think KKR should be proud of them because they played the Inuit. Nobody gave them a chance. They will qualify players. What do you think? I think they've done very well. They've come through from being 7th and in the first leg through to 4th and now through to the final. Mohamed Amir, wrong decision. Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps. Mohamed Amir, the poor young guy, he was a great player. Great player. All the potential in the world. Led astray by Salman Butt. Ended up getting involved with that whole rubbish and ultimately losing out quite badly. It was quite sad, actually. Very, very sad. Very, very sad indeed. Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs with Mohammad Amir. But Pakistan on the UAE soil, having played a lot of their cricket there of the last so many years, are in with a big, big chance of getting there again. And they're going to really prove. Pakistan cricketers always like safe cricket, not aggressive. Well, not true. Should Jahal come in place of Ashwin after the performance? Sadfiq Bargari, I actually agree, but it won't happen. Who should be in his captain for T20 after Kohli? Well, I would argue at this point it's going to be Rohit Sharma. Potentially KL Rahul, but Rohit Sharma looks like the one that'll be likely to take it over. If an Ashwin's pushing for something as well, I'm not happy with the way Ashwin's destabilising things in the background. Well, at least I think he's destabilising things in the background. Which spinner will make it to the playoff 11? Ashwin or Chakravarti? I reckon Chakravarti's got a very good chance. That was my opinion. Jadeja's going to be there. Jadeja's going to be there for sure. What do you think? You tell me what you think. Very good chance that Ashwin won't be playing. He hasn't played well this IPL. He hasn't proven any form at all. I wasn't that impressed with him, to be honest. Something's really gone off. What the issues are, Ashwin's still a great player. We all know that. Brilliant player, actually. But he just doesn't, something's not right there. Something's not right there. Ashwin, most educated cricketer. He's certainly educated, yes, I don't deny that. Well, Shardul will be a game changer for India after his points in IPL. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shardul's, and he's really winning games like punt was meant to be doing. So you've got to take a hat for him. He's been brilliant. So you guys that are there now that are viewing this, please view, like, and share the post. Subscribe to Eyes on Cricket with Norman Koch. Just hit the subscribe. Subscribe. Hit the button, guys, and hit the notification. Get more of these live interactions. I normally have lots bigger crowds than this, and they'll come back. What about Chahal conclusion? Well, it's too late now. Travers hitting double ton. Have you witnessed any part of it? Yes, I have, and I don't think it was. It was a smallish ground. Bowling attack wasn't good. Overrated Trevor, and the selectors are aware of that, and they've been very wary about reselecting him, even though he's done well. He can't just do these games well and in the obscurities. His captaincy overburdened punt. His strike rate dropped a lot. Yeah, a little bit. He probably needs a break. Probably Netson needs a break. Probably needs a fair dinkum break. In all fairness. Good morning, Baram. Yes, I've hit my so-called session here. Why don't you come on and talk, Baram? Do you want to come on and talk? I've sent you the link. Good time for viewership, actually, at this time. Baram, he missed me getting scolded by my mother. That's why I'm in this room. I got pushed out of the other room. It's quite funny. Not really. Australia's a T20 World Cup squad. I believe he is. But yeah, he hasn't been setting the world on fire as well. Hasn't been playing well at all, to be honest. I think Punt's wrong decision let Delhi down. Otherwise, Delhi would have been playing in the finals instead of CSK. What do you think? Yeah, there's been some little mistakes that he made. Yes, they probably were not quite aware of what to do. They needed someone like a Dhoni to help them. He's in the reserves. Yeah, he is. I don't know Pakistani cricketers have any can understand Hayden's England, Matthew Hayden. He's pretty Ockerish, isn't he? He's got an Ockerish way of speaking. It wasn't that easy to understand for most people. Absolutely. Yeah, you beauty, people saying for CSK. To me, the match turning point was when Utava, he batted well. He batted really well. Even Moeen Ali impressed me. I was quite impressed with the way he played, actually. Hayden's bowling coach, Phil Anders batting coach. No, the other way around. I think Hayden's the batting coach and Phil Anders the bowling coach. What do you mean? I don't think Matthew Hayden the bowling coach, that would be a bloody mistake. There wouldn't be much of a bowling close. Whereas the England team now, they're in Oman. I've sent videos that you can see videos of that. I've got videos of them training actually too. Very, very impressive. Virat 12 class. One day he is a good English commentator. Virat Kohli is one. Yeah. Spin coach to be Brad Hogg. I don't know. You're playing 11 for India against Pakistan. Well, they picked themselves. KL Rahul, obviously, Rohit Sharma, Kohli, Ishan Kishan should be there. Sky Kumar is probably going to be there. And then you'll have, obviously, Thakur will come in the middle order there. Hardik Pandya, no, I don't think so. The bowling, Bumrah, maybe Bhuvi, Shami maybe as well. Then you look at the spin of Jadeja. They're saying Ashwin Chakravarti. What's your take on umpire call decision, especially? I think it's all fine. I think we have to allow that to be that as it is, guys. You can't change that. It's not worthy of changing. I think the umpire's call is as best as we can get currently. So I'm not going to knock it. I'm not going to knock it. Maybe India or West Indies will win the World Cup. I think either of those two teams are very capable of winning. Are you guys subscribing? The Mark Wood video is there to watch, guys. Your views on Venkatesh Iyer after these should be Venkatesh Iyer and Gaikwad will be future Indian openers. Pakistan team, English only understand most of them. Okay. A lot of good came out of this tournament. A lot of good. A lot of very good things. Very, very good tournament. How do you rate Nicholas Puran? I think he's a good player. I think the whole West Indian squad is an excellent squad, and they're going to be a powerhouse. They'll be very, very hard to beat. Don't know anything about Oman pitches. Placid, they're rather new, great conditions. They put a lot of money in Oman. I was there a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. Thought it was great. Do you know? I do not. Don't you think Sunil Ryan should have been? No, yes, he should have, but they've got a pretty good squad anyway. Invite Cummins. You're alive. I'd love to. He lives up the road. Well, he's not here now, but he lives not very far away. I will one day. I certainly will. I'll get a few. Wait until they'll come back. See what they want to. Yeah, overall, it's been pretty good. Holder from captaincy to reserves. Yeah, that's a pity. Cummins' YouTube channel has done very well. Yeah, he's a good bloke. Deserves all the accolades he gets. Cummins, he's vice captain of the Australian side. Don't know whether he'll be the Test captain though, or the the full captain. I don't think so. Don't you think Russell should have come in? Absolutely. I said at the beginning, I thought they would put him in. And they didn't. Quite a shock, actually. Quite a shock, to be honest. Baramarani, are you there? Join me. A lot of viewers at this time. A few batsmen from 70s and 80s era who would have dominated T20 format. Well, definitely, both of them. Richie Richardson probably would have. Viv Richards, of course, would have. Doug Walters would have. Mohammed Asif now coaching USA cricket. Good on him. You can't begrudge these blokes from going to places like, you can't begrudge them at all. Lots of ex and present cricketers making YouTube channels. It seems to be the flavour of the month, doesn't it? Maybe a bit of overkill. Some of them are pretty boring. Some of them are good. Lots, yeah. So it's becoming a bit of a trend, isn't it? But genuine team or player or like fan individual interaction is not that common. Your favourite T20 batsman, Rohit Sharma at his best. Oh my God, he was sensational. He is sensational. Brendan McCullum, when he first came in, was absolutely brilliant, wasn't he? It was absolutely brilliant when he first came in. I think Venkatesh Iyer should have been playing 11. It's too late. It would give it. If it had been about a month or two later, he may well have been there. I like Australia's team 1992, but me born in 94. Well, let's still see replays. Can you name the bowlers from the 80s and 90s who would be mastered current T20 format? There was a young bloke. Oh, what was his name? I've forgotten his name. Oh, there was quite names are looming at the moment. There's quite a few actually that would have done very well. Indeed, there's quite a few. What was the name of that guy? It was a young bloke. Forgotten his name. He's caught me on the hop. But give me some time to think about it. I'll bring him up. But there's quite a few that would have excelled. Why wouldn't they? Just because they're from 70s, 80s, but they wouldn't have excelled now. They would have just needed a bit of practice, and they would have been in there. Would have been doing very well. All right, guys. More questions. Do you know the conflict between Gale and Ambrose? Ambrose just thinks that Gale can't automatically think he's needing his selection, and it's a fair comment. Chris Gale didn't like it. Viv Richards supported Ambrose, so it's a bit of an Antigua versus Antigua's where Ambrose and Richie Richardson and Viv Richards are from, and Gale's from Jamaica. Maybe a bit of that going on. What can you expect from the Australian team in this T20 World Cup? Maxwell, Hazelwood, Stoner's performance pretty good. Those three, yes, but the rest, no. Venkatesh, educational qualification, MBA. Talented, very, very talented, very impressive. Very impressive indeed, guys. If you're there and you're viewing and liking and sharing the posts, make sure you subscribe to my Eyes on Cricket channel, please, as well as notifications. Don Bradman, any updates? But me born on any updates? No, but what do you mean updates? He's dead, but he's been a great part of cricket history. Doubleheader in WBBL today. Well, yeah, not as enthused. My favourite Shannon Ismail's not there, so a bit hard to be enthused by that at the moment. And there's a few team changes that have gone on. It makes it a little bit hard to fathom, to be honest. List your favourite commentator, please. You go back to Richie Benos, the Bill Lawrys, the Tony Greggs, Ian Chappells. Who was next captain of Timpe? I would like to see Jason Sangha. I've said that before. People missing Bangladesh player. Yeah, they are. They do with a lot more of those players then. more Sri Lankans, more Indians for that matter too. They're certainly missing quite a few like that, aren't they? Sajil Khan, I don't know about that. Why doesn't he approach management here and see whether he can? But isn't he being banned? Will pitches be similar for the World Cup? They're going to be exactly the same. They're going to be exactly the same. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Tony Greig was the best commentator. Well, he was right up there. Two players. Who do you think KK will retain next year? KK will probably retain. Well, Owen Morgan still has to be considered retained. Narayan, I would continue to keep him. Dhoni is Big Bash League. Any chance in the future? It'd be lovely to see him here. It'd be lovely to see him here. Fully commend him to be here. Will it happen though? That's the question. I love your passion for the game. Thank you. So 118 views post 395. Okay. All right, guys. Any more questions? Shaq have any chance as captain of KKR? I don't think so. And he's push and go with it to actually playing the squad. Baram's joining here.
Hi, Norman.
Hello. I was pushed out of my room by it's that early in the morning. It was 7:30. I was pushed out of the room because a long story, but it was funny. What did you think of today's match? Did you watch it all?
Pardon? Can you repeat?
Sorry?
No. What was the question, Norman?
What did you watch the match in full today?
I honestly watched it. I watched only Chennai's batting but after they scored, I was sure that KKR are impossible. They can win from here.
It was quite amazing, wasn't it? Chennai's batting.
Yeah.
They batted so well. They got a massive total. I predicted 165. That was actually the total that KKR got.
Correct. And even I was so sure that only the opening partnership will bat. After that, there will be a complete downfall, because that's what we have seen with KKR the whole series. I really don't know what after the number 3 to number 7, they really don't do anything.
Yeah, they didn't have Andre Russell. That was bizarre. They should have put him in. They really should have put him in.
But he was injured, right? Like, that was the problem. So
I live with my mother, Anish. I think I told you. Chris Lynn in the T20 squad, he's not, unfortunately, which is the upcoming T20 World Cup warm-up matches you're most looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to any warm-up matches. I mean, I like the idea of New Guinea and teams like that playing, but other warm-up matches, they frustrate me. Don't they frustrate you, Bro?
They're good for the teams, but I don't think watching it would make much sense, because it's not played with that kind of a sense, and they rotate.
No.
I believe they even rotate players. You have more, you can play with, I think, 14 players or something like that. You can rotate them. You can play with an extra bowler and extra batsman, what I understand. That's what allowed, right?
But you don't, I mean, the form, you can't take any of the form seriously, because you just don't know what's there, do you? I mean,
see, in Test, I don't know for T20s how much the form aspect would be, but for Test, it definitely does. Like what we had seen, you remember, like for the Test matches when KL Rahul had scored and he carried that form moving ahead.
Yeah.
And so they Jadeja a little bit, because they both had scored centuries in their warm-up games. So it really, for Test, I'm sure that gets the, how can you get the muscles start moving, those flow starts happening. But for T20, it's something to be watched. Because previous T20 World Cups, I don't remember this concept of warm-up matches. I don't know. This is something new they got here, or before I don't remember this concept of warm-up matches.
No, I don't know. I mean, a lot of the qualification rounds are done well before, not a few days before. It's actually good for the teams that are qualifying because they are in the groove a couple of games out and they come straight into the tournament. That's a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
Which is the upcoming T20 World Cup warm-up match. KL Rahul in future becoming good English commentator. Well, could well be. He may well be a good commentator.
Dinesh Karthik, right? He also does very good commentating.
Yeah, he does.
He started his career both at the same time.
Oh, look, you've got to give him some credit. Oman versus Papua New Guinea, legendary match. It is legendary. Two incredibly different areas of the world. Yeah, so it is interesting, I must say. Very, very interesting.
But my bet in that group is Bangladesh and Scotland. That's what I feel will go through from that group.
Okay, and then Sri Lanka and who?
Sri Lanka and Namibia.
And Namibia is virtually South Africa. I mean, you might find a lot of South African players moving to Namibia and other countries that can get a go.
Yep.
So we've got a lot of people watching at this time in the morning. In India, it's 2 a.m. in the morning.
I'm saying that's what I told you, Norman. Like post-match, there is much higher viewership. The reason being, like, people, they have finished their work and they have finished the activities. They're relaxing, and tomorrow anyway is Saturday, so there's no need to wake up early.
No, there's
you
not.
Get my point. Yeah, that's so. It's a double thing.
That's true. I'm glad the IPL. I think you made a comment. You and I both were glad the IPL was over. It was a long, drawn out tournament, and for God's sake, they're going to play 94. Oh my God, that's going to be some time. Who's your dark horse for World Cup, Norman? They're not that dark. West Indies, Pakistan. Again, England, India, West Indies, Pakistan, New Zealand. They're my 5. Australia, I'm sorry, are not going to do well. South Africa's not going to do well. I don't think Sri Lanka will do well.
See,
Bangladesh, maybe.
Pakistan, I agree. Like they have been a strong T20 team, but for this team, it's see, they have not played any big matches, and all the big matches that they play, big matches mean against the big teams, they have lost those games. So it's I feel like everybody is really overrating Pakistan over here. It's really something needs to be seen about them.
Yeah, but it's in the UAE, and those conditions suit the Pakistan team down to the ground. Most of the players have played. Most of the Pakistan team has played the most in the UAE, so they're very experienced with the ground, aren't they? I mean,
now, if you see with the IPL, Norman, everybody knows the conditions also, right? And all players from the top teams, they are aware. They will definitely pass on this information to their teams. And if you ask me, the most recent team that has played in UAE is India and the other players, where the Pakistani players have not played.
Oh yeah, I still think
the current situation that's different.
I still think Pakistan will do well. I would not discount them at all, to be honest. They're going to do well.
My predictions are India, New Zealand from that group.
What did you say? India and New Zealand?
Yeah. And from the other group, West Indies and Australia.
Why are you so convinced of Australia? I think you're going to be way wrong there.
No, from the World Cup performance, I can say that, Norman. Like from past, I've seen in the World Cups, Australia do get their act together.
Yeah, but they haven't.
And it's the other way with South Africa. They lose their act.
Both Australia and South Africa never do well in the T20 format. Not just now in general, they just don't do well.
No, but South Africa, you can say even for the ODI World Cups, they don't do well.
So if they can't put bloody Faf du Plessis in their side, there's something wrong with them. New Zealand could be a dark horse, yeah. Dave Warner, he's in such a mixed state in his head. He's not going to be in that situation at all, I don't think. Do you?
Warner, I think, can get back in form. See,
Mentally?
who are the key players for Australia to really shine? One would be Pat Cummins, Maxwell. These two, I think.
Stoinis if fit.
Yeah.
Hazelwood
And
did pretty well in the final here today.
And Smith, to a reasonable extent, also, I would say.
Yeah.
Smith will
I
definitely
don't think
play well. If not, definitely not bad, but whether he plays extremely well, like a Maxwell level, that's to be seen.
Maxwell should be in the captaincy group, in my opinion. That's how good I think he's going. He really should be in the captaincy group. He's, to me, the player that can do really well.
And Aaron Finch also, we are forgetting him. If he clicks, that's another thing.
And like Marcus Stoinis, you know what? He's not that dramatic a player to have in the side. He balances the IPL teams pretty well, and he's got an extra impetus. He's just not quite there, and he got injured. I'm not impressed. Australia haven't got any cohesion, for God's sake. They're going to get rid of Matthew Wade.
Okay.
And put Josh English in there.
Hopefully, asking this question: how many Australian players played in the IPL? Oh, I can remember Pat Cummins, Steve Smith, but
Hazelwood
did not play in the UAE league. Then
no.
Josh Hazelwood will be there, right?
Yeah. Stoinis, Warner. Warner didn't play much. Nathan Coulson, but he's not on the team. I don't know if there's any others, really.
No.
Very ordinary. All right, but I think I'm going to stop the video, even though it's going along nicely. It's 7:40 a.m. here in Australia. What time is it there in Philippines?
4:40.
4:40. Okay. Will Zampa do well in the UAE? I think Zampa will do well. Or Agar will play. Zampa and Agar aren't bad. They're not world-winning team players, but Zampa was missed in the IPL. That's one player was missed. That's a miss. And Maxwell should be given more of a prominent role than he is. That's for sure. He's not given enough prominence in his role.
Australian team, what number do you think Maxwell will bat? Number 3?
No, they're putting Mitchell Marsh in at 3, which I don't agree with. They'll have Smith maybe Smith at 4. Maxwell will be going 5, I think. Should bet higher, actually. He should be made.
That's what I was thinking. The combination becomes very bad then. Because Steve Smith is a player you usually get in number 3, maximum 4. Or you get Steve 3, then Maxwell 4, but then who will you get? Then Mitchell Marsh, as you said, I don't know. Is he a good number 5?
Anish Taco says he's inconsistent, Mitchell Marsh. I agree. I would say that he should be batting down in the middle order, lower middle order, because he's really an all-rounder. He's not an opening first-drop batter. He did okay in the West Indies and Bangladesh, but that's not good enough, I'm afraid. I think he's way away from the best. Alex Carey is out now. Matthew Wade moved him across. Matthew Wade thinks he's a keeper again. It should be Josh Inglis, I think. They very much need to get those people back in there.
And what's the current vibe in Australia for the Ashes? No, it's like
the vibe.
Yeah, 2 months.
Oh, we're thankful to have it, to be honest, because of all the crap that we've gone through with. Harshgruppen said Dan Christian and Henry Enriques is batting awfully, but those two guys I've got a lot of time for in the T20 format. I really have a lot of time for them. I would like to see them both play in the match because they're match winners. I think they're players we should have in there. And I'd even say that Steve Smith needs to get his act together, I tell you, because he's not as certainty of playing too. Matthew Wade is an absolute joke. And my crystal ball did predict CSK would win. I actually said that they would do very well. They had a bat high. They've had a well beyond that with 190. 160 would have been enough. Faf,
Norman, but
quick,
in the playoffs, right from the first match, I was also right.
Yes, you were right.
From all
You
the
were right.
playoffs, so my also mojo is coming back.
Yeah, but Mumbai Indians didn't do very well. Your team, what happened to them? Your mojo was wrong with them.
I'm a supporter or a fan for them, and so with Mumbai
You
Indians,
jinxed
you have to say they win every time. I cannot say that they lose.
But you jinxed them.
But once in the playoff, I predicted all the matches correctly. That too.
Well, I mean, but my team was KKR. I didn't go for them in the final. That was a bit you know.
That was a little weird. I don't know. No, you are not even supporting them. Like, I don't know. Are you a true KKR fan or not? Okay, you did not predict.
I've always been a KK fan, but I've gone off them a bit. I'm not a big fan of Alan Morgan. When they had like Simon Kadich there, I was more of a fan, to be honest with you. That was more my time. All right. Who would be the top scorer in the World Cup, Norman? Top scorer of the World Cup? I think one of the Indian players will be. Could even be a KL Rahul or a Ishan Kishan or something like that. Swapnil Gunsman. What a wonderful YouTube cricket channel. Thank you, Harsh Gupta. I appreciate that comment. It's probably
Gaikwad also got the orange cap.
And you know that Faf du Plessis only had to get 3 or 4 more runs. He would have got it. I think he needed 90. He got 86.
Yeah.
So the first and second on the orange cap list both went ahead of KL Rahul with the openers for CSK. That's kind of indicative of what's going on there, surely.
Yeah, but you should also see that KL Rahul played 2 less matches and scored almost the same.
Who?
KL Rahul played 2 less matches, right? They did not qualify.
But he didn't even qualify. So I mean, that's his fault. That's unfortunate. He was captain. He could have changed that. Maybe his innings were more consolation more than pertinent. So yeah.
I think Punjab King also, they have themselves to blame, like the way they lost winning matches.
Absolutely. They certainly do. It's just keep talking. I'm just going to sort out a few things here. Oops.
Okay.
I had to move into the room here because I got shushed out of somewhere else.
Why? Because of pest control? You were talking about cockroaches.
No, it wasn't because of cockroaches. It was just because I had. It's a long story, but yeah, long story. You're going to go replay that to see what happened. Nathan Bracken, most talented bowler, because I don't give it any chance. He's been out of cricket 10, 15 years. Royals were decimated in the last 3 matches. They were. I was very upset with the way that the games went for RCB and DC. They just fell apart. All right.
That really showed overthinking normally. That's the same thing what I see that even Virat Kohli gets into the Indian team. It's like for critical matches, like if you see for the World Cup, it was just kind of overthinking. I'm talking about the test and many of these. It's like they are overthinking. Just do the simple basics correct. You don't need to do such kind of even the first.
It's mental pressure. It's mental disintegration.
First test match with England in the in the India series, the one happened in India. There also it was a ridiculous team combination taken with reason given that this Akshar Patel has gone, so we took him. I forgot exactly, but. I really felt that was too overthinking. You're becoming too technical and too much data driven. Cricket, you should do is not. It should not. Okay, data should help you but you should not be too overthinking on that data and just going on that.
They had such a great start. Go back to KKR. They had such a great start in this
innings off. Both batters were done for 91, and they just everyone fell apart. That they needed Andre Russell, and they didn't select him. And it just was a clear. There's been some very clear mistakes in team selections and toss wins, decisions like that. I mean, Kohli's batting when he should have bowled was a crazy one. The way that Delhi approached their game captaincy-wise, the way that the captaincy of this match, it's captaincies that have been proven wanting. And the cool head of Adoni really has proven to be a reason for winning this comp. He knew exactly what he had to do and just kept to it and didn't waver, stuck to the plans, bowled first. He lost the toss in this match and was still able to turn it around. A massive effort, really.
Well, Norman, see, there's a psychological, like, okay, everybody is bowling first and winning the toss and taking bowling first. But when you actually lose the toss and go batting, there's a different psychological than actually winning the toss and selecting to bat. There is more pressure that, I have won the toss, I selected to bat, so now I have to score high runs. You get my point?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a different kind of a psychological effect. Whereas when you're kept to bat, like, let's say, even if you score a low, you still have that yes, because the conditions are there, or there is at least some kind of a support and you psychology, then even bowl for it. But like, if you bat first, select the bat first in these conditions where batting, we were seeing that you had to bowl first, and then scoring less, you have completely, like, tripped on yourself, and you don't even have that kind of zest or zeal.
But the reality is that CSK were able to adapt to losing the toss. They knew they had to score big, and they went ahead and they really attacked the bowling and got 190 on one of the highest totals. In fact, it is the highest total of the tournament, isn't it? Pretty sure it's the highest. Don't think there was anything higher than that.
No, Mumbai Indians, remember, 240.
Okay, well, certainly the highest for a final, I would argue, under the circumstances. Anyway, they got 20 or 30 runs above what they should have got, and they made sure to make it out of reach of KKR. There's a WBBL problem. We're out of lockdown here in Sydney, but down in Hobart, they've gone in lockdown because of 3 cases. It's embarrassing, and they're jeopardising the tournament down there. Why would you go on lockdown for 3 cases? I just don't know. That's way, way, way too little a number. Yeah. All right. Okay, so what else we got here?
Harsh difference between
Dhoni and other captains is that he keeps things simple. He said in the past match preparation that there was no team meetings. It is true. He leaves the players. He knows, like Bravo and Du Plessis know what they to do, and they let them go.
Yeah, everybody, these are, experienced cricketers. They know their role. So having team meetings and telling them means that's really too childish. This is like, this is like under 19s. Okay, you understand, like, but for this level with experienced cricketers makes no sense.
Yeah, it's probably where Kohli overdoes it. Kohli probably talks too much to his players and he does inspire aggression and fearlessness, but then he talks probably too much. I would agree with that.
And even to an extent, I would say Ricky Ponting and the Delhi Capitals also. Like, they need to find a balance over there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Both teams probably over-talk the situation. Whereas Stephen Fleming was said, right, guys, you know what to do. Go out and do it. You got a question there about the Philippines?
Around 10,000 per day.
Really? We haven't got anywhere near that, but we're still, we'll be able to travel in and out of Australia in November without quarantine, as long as you've got your COVID-19 negative result and your 2 jabs or your booster shots or whatever else. So that's a rather, it's a happy state. November 1st is only 2 weeks away.
Stopping you all to travel was, at least they should have kept it like, okay, countries where you could travel, countries where you could not travel, at least that kind of, just completely blocking traveling was, it's like too barbaric.
Well, it's hilarious because the only state that's allowing this movement that I've just described is New South Wales. Every other state, 80% of 80 to 90% of the country are still blocked off. It's so funny. So we can't go to Queensland, which is we can get there
But
easily. We can't go there.
I hope it's not like, but people will still be scared. Normal, like somebody goes out and again they block the borders. That's the scary part.
That's true. That's true. If you do go and you're right. If something dramatic happens and you get caught out, that's a bit of a.
Then you can't come back. That's actually the scarier part.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, if you're out of the country, and then you're out of the country, being told that you can come back and then you can't, that's a bit scary.
You should take from them in writing that I go out, I'm coming back on this date. Whatever be the situation, you have to allow me.
I think that's a very good point, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Bahram, I think I've just about done time. Thanks for joining me again.
Sure. I'll also go back to sleep. Bye, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Bahram. Talk to you. We've got the World Cup coming up. Don't forget with the World Cup coming up. That's going to be huge.
You having any preview on Sunday for the first 2 matches?
Yeah, I'm going to do some live stuff as well.
Okay. Let me know. I might also join you.
Okay. All right. Take care. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bahram. Ciao. All right, guys. I'm going to call it quits too because I think we've done more than enough here. It's gone very well. Any last question, guy, before I go? Last question before I go. Oh, and you can visit the Philippines. Of course, I've been there. My nephew got married there once. Thanks for amazing IPL coverage. Thanks, Ram. I really appreciate that. That's a big comment coming from you. I appreciate that big time. Oh, when you can visit Pakistan, that's a nice country. I know it is. Just need one more of those little buggers. Any last questions, guys? I'm about to head off. All right, so thanks for your time, guys. Okay, I'm from Sweden. My dream is I want to meet you. Oh, well, we'll have it happen one day then. Thanks for the IPL live stream. Thank you to Thursday. Is it 2009? It's been great, guys. The IPL's over. Some 60 matches have occurred. And I'm done. All right, guys. Kohli, right man to lead India to the World Cup in 2023. We'll see. We'll see whether he's still around as a captain. All right, thanks, guys. Do like and share the post. At Norm Koch is my Twitter and my Instagram handle. Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnak is my YouTube channel. Be subscribed to notifications, and there we go. Peace out. See you later, guys. All the best.